Welcome to the Phil Taylor Jones Show. Folks, this is the morning after the night before. Yes, Donald Trump was declared the winner of last night's festivities, shall we say, and they were festive. Now the Donald has 20 states under his belt, and Mr. Rafael Cruz has 8, and John Kasich, poor thing, finally got him a state, his own. Now, there were some red flags that were sent up in Ohio because there was some mishaps going on with ballots or names not being on ballots rather, basically Donald Trump's. And there is an investigation into that, whether or not it's going to go full tilt, which would probably result in some fines being levied, because they're not going to redo it. You know, it's a done deal. But there might be some fines levied if there has been some hanky-panky going on there. But how good it was to know that the Trump man came out very, very triumphant. And we certainly would hope that the GOP would now get behind this man and stop all of this nonsense about stopping Trump, because obviously the guy's not going to stop. You felt that he wasn't going to go the distance when he started, but he proved you wrong. He has been stellar on keeping his name and what his purpose is in the forefront. They're claiming that his style of campaigning may just go down in history as being one of the best efforts in the history of politics. He has found systems and he knows how to work them. As I've alluded to many times on the show, nobody can promote Trump better than Trump. He's taken Facebook, he's taken Twitter, he's taken Instagram, all of these things, and he's turned it into a science. They claim that he goes seeking out these news whores and various programs so that he can get publicity, which is up in the millions. I don't know, I think $180 million worth of free publicity. It varies from station to station, from news whore to news whore. But I know it's huge. So, you know, this guy is really working it, and he knows how to work it. He's not seeking out the news agencies. They're seeking him. They're seeking him because he's a very interesting person. Who are they going to seek out? Bernie Creepy Boy Sanders, or Slithery Clinton, or Rafael Cruz, or, for heaven forbid, John Kasich? God, I mean, to watch John Kasich is to watch cars rust. The guy is boring. You know, I mean, good Lord. I wouldn't want him to be in there as president. Well, maybe, I'm not going to say he should be president, but if he were, we wouldn't have to worry about the terrorists or anybody else. He'd bore them to death. They'd go to sleep on him. You know. Anyway, so good to know that Donald came out triumphant. Now, we've got a job to do. Ladies and gentlemen, of those of you out there who support the Trump man, across all ties, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat or an independent, we got a lot of work to do. Some states, they put both sets of people on the ballots, the Republicans and the Democrats. Some states only put one or the other. So those of you who are registered Democrats who are supporting Republicans, you need to get your paperwork in order. Because there were a lot of people on telly last evening saying that they've been registered Democrat, but they want to vote for the Trump man because they don't like what's been going on in their own party, and they certainly don't like what's been going on in Washington as we see it today. So, all you folks out there, make sure you get your paperwork in order so that when it comes time to vote in your state, you'll be ready, because every vote counts. We got to get the Trump man in there. You know Slithery Clinton's bad news. You know Sanders' bad news. And God forbid if Rafael Cruz gets in there. Did you see his press conference after the primaries? How disgusting. He and that snarly Fiorina. Oh, what a dirtbag she is. I mean, come on. But, you compare Donald Trump's speech to both Mike and Rubio and this. Be careful, Phil. This person, Cruz. Donald went on there and he congratulated Rubio for running a good campaign, a strong campaign. I'll say a dirty campaign. He wished him well, and, Donald was just gracious. He went on to talk about what he plans to do for the country. Not one time did he mention Rafael Cruz, either in a bad way or a good way or anything. He wasn't a part of the Donald speech. It was about what the Donald wants to do for America, how he's going to help Americans help the country be great again. That was his focus. But oh no. Well, before I get to this ingrate, let me talk about Rubio. He did get on there and he did graciously, whether he meant it or not, give Trump his kudos. But then there were some audience members who started booing. And how childish that was. And he said, no. We're not going to do that. No. Too little too late, pal. Because you stood up there on the stage and you ripped this guy to shreds, talking about his genitalia, talking about him going in the bathroom or being back there in the green room and using the bathroom on himself and all kinds of crap. So don't get up there and try to play little Mr., choir boy. Oh, no, we're not going to do anything negative because you've already proven yourself to be a childless little runt. And they were talking about whether or not he's going to come back. It wasn't his time to be president. I think his career is toast because people are going to remember what you did, how you belittled people on stage, how you got down in the sandbox and played like a child and acted like a child. People, they don't forget. So you're toast, pal. At least I hope you are. Now, we'll go on to this Kasich fella. He got on there and talked about what he wants to do and all of this kind of stuff. The guy, like I said, I get more excited watching cars rust. He is a very shifty person. He now thinks because he won his state that, he's hot stuff. He talking about what he's going to do as president, Mr. President Kasich. One state. And you figure, it's a sad soul that can't win his own state. I mean, come on. Rubio didn't get stuck. He got shish kebabbed in his own state of Florida. What was it, 1 million and some votes for Trump? The guy was shish kebabbed. So, Kasich, for whatever reason, whether he honestly wanted or whether there was some kind of hanky-panky, he did get his own state. But, I have a breakdown of what went on last night. And if you'll allow me, I'll just touch on it a little bit. We've got Trump in the lead with 691 out of 1,237 delegates. He has 7.5 million votes and 20 states he has taken. Very successful. The popular vote, over 7.5 million. Rafael Cruz has 412 of the 1,237 delegates and 5.4 million votes and has 8 states. And Kasich, help him, Lord, with his low 146 out of 1,237, 2.7 million in his one state. And he's already, making plans for the White House. I don't know what the guy's been smoking. Maybe he's been taking the crack. I don't know, but I don't even see him halfway in the running for anything. It'll be interesting if he even gets to be governor of Ohio again at this point. But Now I got to get to Mr. Cruz. And once again, folks, I'm going to try to hang on to my temper because this time I'm afraid to lose it. This guy makes me ill. He really does. He is about the most disgusting individual I have seen in a long time. And I mean, looking at old bastard and slithery Clinton, you know, that's going some. Why is it every time he makes a statement, he has to... That makes me want to chew through tungsten steel. You know, he makes a statement. He lies through his teeth. He told so many lies on Trump, it wasn't even funny. Has this guy been smoking crack or meth or whatever? Because people remember what Donald says, just like people remember what he says. You know, everybody is not brain dead. Oh, he wants to carry on Obamacare. He wants to rehash the Iran deal. No, he doesn't. Donald Trump has stood resolute on getting rid of that stuff ever since he's, you know, thrown his hat in the ring to be president. Where were you, Rafael? And why do you continue to lie? You're the biggest liar I've ever seen in my life, and I've seen some people that can tell some whoppers. Then he goes on to say, he gave Marco Rubio such a big buildup. Oh, Marco Rubio inspires me. Oh, Marco Rubio is one of the greatest politicians that I've ever seen. His way of doing politics. And so wasn't he the one that cut the little guy down to shreds and said that, you know, he had the worst attendance record in Congress, among other things, and what lies? I think he and Jeb Tush got together on Rubio. You know why he's sucking up to Rubio, because he wants all of his supporters. What a dirtbag. I mean, come on, no jerks. And I mean, he just... Oh, God. God! I can't even put into words the disdain, the contempt I have for this thing. So I'm telling you, folks, I'm not telling you, I'm not asking, I'm begging you to get all your stuff together. Trump supporters, you know, get people, you know, try to encourage them to look the Trump man's way if they're not. Supporters, keep supporting. Get out there, make sure your stuff is together so when it comes your time to vote, there's a lot of states left, get out there and vote. When the Trump man comes to your town for these rallies, make sure you back him up, and let's beat these bastards at their own game. Let's make Trump's rallies some of the most peaceful there is. We don't want to give these idiots a stick to crack our heads with. I'm not saying to, you know, to dull it down. Keep that fire and that vigor. But remember, you're representing the Trump man, and we don't want any kind of garbage being perpetuated upon this man. There's been enough of that. So let's boost him on to victory, and you know, got to keep an eye on this little race here between Cruz and Kasich, because with the GOP, these elite muckety-mucks, administrators and what have you, they're still on the dump Trump thing. And then this Soros guy, there's another bastard to watch, because he's just trying to throw money and money and money into this dump Trump thing. They're trying to dust off several people. I know they're looking very strongly at Michael Bloomberg of New York, former governor or mayor there. They're looking at him to try to come in as an independent to kind of mess things up. They may even try to look at some of the ones that have dropped out and try to bring them back aboard, you know, breathe a little life into them. They're showing that they're willing to do anything to derail this guy, and it's not fair. Obviously, he's the front runner. He's done the work. He's promoted himself. The people want him, and that's what they don't like. They want to make it so the news media elects the next president, or somebody else elects as super delegates and all of this crap. No, it's we the people. We get off our backsides, we go out there and vote, and that should mean something. And if it doesn't mean something to these GOP ingrates, then we must make it mean something. It would be shameful for the Donald to get that close to getting the nomination and they cheat him out of it. Because I tell you, I can't speak for everybody else, I'm speaking for me. If Donald Trump does not get the nod, then America won't get my vote. Because there's nobody else that I want to have in the White House. I don't want Slithery, I don't want Bernie, I don't want Rafael, and I don't want John. I want the Trump man. All of these other people are career politicians, they're mainstream politicians, and they are establishment politicians, and I'm sick of them. They haven't done anything good for us. Let's put a businessman in there so he can take care of business and get us what we need. Go, go, Donald Trump. You're doing a hell of a job, buddy, and we're behind you at the Phil Taylor Jones Show all the way. 2 thumbs up, way up. Exec, you got anything?
Well, pretty much most of the stuff you said I kind of echo and mirror. That this dump Trump and get rid of Trump stuff is even ridiculous. It's too many people going against the grain for their own party. I know the point is to try to win yourself, but putting down someone in your own party shows your incompetence yourself. Mm-hmm. It shows that you're not wanting to play fair and be nice, even if you want to fake it like Marco Rubio did and congratulate him and then tell people not to say no to him and everything. That was a little too late. Like you said, you don't call the fire department after the smoke already starts and the house is burned down. You call it the first sign of smoke. Mm-hmm. And they had someone on there, I forget the lady's name, but she was on the Skype speaking with the 3 hosts or at least 1 host and 2 guests of the Newsmax TV. And she, not to say that she is one because that's not the context I'm using, but she was just like the news whores and taking everything out of context, not finishing his statements or at least showing people the rest of his statements. When she was speaking, she said something about, but Trump said he wants to ban all Muslims, and her sentence was done. The guy tore into her and said, no, he didn't. He said that he wanted to ban all Muslims for a certain amount of time until he can get a better system in there, and then someone corrected him, and I think even he got it wrong about what he officially said, and everything. I kind of like that host, whatever his name was.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about, but his name escapes me too.
He was on the far left side.
Yeah.
Because everything is, she seemed
Michael Lynch, I think because I think they call him MLM or ML or something like that. But yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, something like that. I don't have my information gathering device with me at this time, like I usually do. But he was on the far left side, and everything that she threw at him that probably comes from the same minds and ears and mouths of Democrats, he could answer like that, quick and fast. He had an answer for everything she said and kind of made her look like a fool and everything. But there's too many, people going against Trump right now, and there's even another new one and it's a pretty large group. If you know what I'm talking about, I'm not going to actually mention it because it's, in my opinion, redundant. They don't really do anything that much, whatever kind of stuff they do, if you know what I'm speaking about, really doesn't have an effect on anything, in my opinion. And I guess that'll end what I have to say right now.
Mm. Well, I see it as people still in this funk of politics. Politics. That's all they think about is politics. There was even a caller on the program last evening. He was questioning Trump's ability to be a president because he has no politics or political background. All he has is he's a real estate developer. He's a business an entrepreneur. He's a businessman. And so the fella said, "Well, yeah, that's what we need." Well, the United States is not a real estate. The United States is a business with a political overtone, and you have to get about the business of running the country, just like you have to get about the business of running a business. And Donald Trump can do that. He knows how to, protect the bottom line. He knows how to hire people. He knows how to fire people, and he knows how to get in there and make deals. And what I don't like about this idiot, Rafael Cruz, when the word deal comes up, he tries to make Donald look like some shady, crook, making those little slick back alley deals. That's not what the Trump man is about. He's about making the best deal for the least money for the better good. And that's what he's done for his business. That's what he'll do for the United States. And he keeps harping on Israel. You know, I don't really care about Israel. I don't care about Palestine either. I agree with the Trump man. Yeah, he wants to try to broker a deal so that they'll stop fighting to see if it can be done. Because I think the Trump man is like that. In fact, I know he is. If you tell him something can't be done, he's going to try to prove you wrong. And most of the time he does. And I think that's what he wants to do. But to tell the truth, I don't care about either one of them because they're both greedy. You know, one is supposedly giving the other one something and they frittered it away, and then they tried to make peace with them over here and they frittered it away. They're just like kids on a playground to me, both Israel and Palestine, fighting over the same tetherball. No, it's my tetherball. No, it's my tetherball. Well, I had it first. Well, I had it first before you did. Oh, wait, come on. Either one of them, we're supposed to be such big allies to Israel, and they're supposed to be allies to us. But again, I say, take the incident in Flint. Did Israel try to help us out? Are they trying to help those poor people down there in Flint who don't have decent water to drink? Are they trying to help the people in the Menindee Lakes community in Australia? Are they trying to help anybody but themselves? I say Donald is right. We should be worried about what's going on in this country. They've been fighting over there since Hector was a pup, and the pup has died of old age. Israel, take care of your damn self, and Palestinians, take care of your damn selves, and we take care of America. We need an America comes first president, and that's the Donald. And, you know, I find it very strange that anyone could get behind a person like Rafael Cruz, who all the time when he speaks, he's belittling the other person. If a person like that is before you, and they're always belittling or downtrodden or lying on the other person or trying to make the other person look bad, then what does that say about the person talking? Say, well, since you're trying to dig his grave, you know, maybe you need to dig one for yourself, because with me, you're not making any headway, because I've heard the man speak, and the stuff that's coming out of your mouth is a damn lie. Where are people's minds? I don't know. I don't care. But all I have to say is, for the Trump man, if you support him, then support him in every way possible by getting your paperwork together, talking to your friends and neighbors and family, and getting them to see that, okay, we've had politicians all this time. Let's try something new. Let's put Donald J. Trump in there, a businessman, a billionaire tycoon, and let's see what he can do. And we might come back the same time next year and say, hey, we did a good thing. I think the exec wants to say one more thing, then we're going to close it out.
You know, speaking of this disgusting Rafael Cruz, I almost forgot to speak on how I feel about him too. He's really irritating and disgusting and creepy too. You were having a hard time finding the right words to describe him. I think that some of the descriptive sentences in the song Mr. Grinch would probably describe it pretty well. You're a vile one, and some of the other long ones with arsenic sauce.
Want to touch it with a 39.5-foot pole.
Yeah. And, you know, just to consistently, and it proves what Donald says about them lying all the time, when they consistently say things like, oh, Donald Trump wants to support the Iran deal, when he specifically, last time we saw him on a debate, said, you know, I've seen a lot of deals in my time. Believe me, I've seen a lot of deals. And this Iran deal is one of the worst deals I've ever seen in history. You know, he just lies on them and everything. What kind of, you know, good faith campaign can you run if you're consistently lying to the public, thinking that they'll just believe you instead of remember what Trump said? And that's about it for now.
Yeah, the guy is vile, like you said. He baits people into thinking that I'm the one to vote for because I'm going to protect your Second Amendment rights. Donald said last evening that he's going to be there protecting the Second Amendment rights. He's going to be there for the veterans and everything. So, I mean, Cruz, your game is weak, pal. You need to drop out Just like your buddy Rubio, you need to drop out and let the Trump man go on so he can prepare to slaughter Slithery Clinton, because you are weak and you lie. And as I understand it, you got a lot of little skeletons in your closet that may come creeping out. So you need to be careful, pal, about how you go around trying to set traps for other people, because maybe you'll get your britches caught on your own pitchfork. And the crap that you say is just like the whale said when he saw Jonah standing on the beach, I ain't a swallowing it. So, watch yourself, Rafael. On that score, we'll go on to say, yay to the Trump man for easing on down the road in that Trump, or shall I say railroad tracks, in that Trump train. And keep up the good work, buddy. We're behind you. Everybody, take care and stay safe and maintain some kind of joy. Hey, if you want to subscribe to us, the button is right down there, and you can do that. And look us up on Google Plus and circle us there. And like I said, if you're not a member of Google Plus, go on and join, and then you can become one of our followers. And you can also follow us on our community, the Passions community, where we have lots of fun there as well. So take care, stay safe. This is Wednesday, kind of careening towards the weekend. So we'll see you next time on the Phil Taylor Jones Show, and have a good weekend when we get there. Bye-bye.